let's continue with our Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. And we're on, so far, as I said, I think it's the most difficult topic so far. The laws of Iska. So Iska is our contract. When we, like, on one hand, we invest into someone, right? We give somebody money, but we expect some return. So you lend the money because you're not part of the business. Business is different thing, right? If two partners, so two partners means that I invest some money, he invests some money, or I invest money and he invests his talent, but we run the business together. He's taking care of this part of the deal. I'm taking over another part of the deal. He's here locally. I go to the customer side to overseas to buy the products and ship and oversee the shipment and stuff like that. He's here in a recipient. So that's partners. It's not that, right? So that's clear partner. Even if one invests money and another is not. I mean, the money is like put it in a bank, and they're being used for a business. That's a different story. Here we're talking about like a person like more on lending. So he lends, she lends the money to somebody, and they expect a return on that money, right? With regular lending of the money, it would be absolutely forbidden, right? It would be interest, but in this case, it's not interest because it's more like a business, and the one definition of the business, people can lose. When you have investment, you can lose, but of course they say how much you can lose, up to half and stuff like that. So let's continue with halacha number 5, and it says, if the investor gave a receipt, if the investor gave the recipient funds as an Iska, as an Iska, for a certain length of time, and the funds remain with the recipient beyond the time when the payment was due, the recipient who engaged in business must give the investor profit. Also for the time that the money remained in his hand after due date. For the investment presumably remained in his hand on original terms. Nevertheless, it is preferable to specify immediately from the onset that in the Iska document that if the funds remained with the recipient beyond the time when the payment is due, it will also be one of the condition of the Iska. Okay, so let's do it again and we try to understand. So again, if the investor gave the recipient funds as an Iska, so Iska meaning as this loan, right, for a certain length of time. So meaning that this investor does not specify for what investment he's investing. So as we see, it's not like a business. I mean, it is a business, but it's this recipient can do whatever he wants with the funds. Of course, I think he's going to explain that not to sound that he's crazy, that he's going to blow the money, but okay. But basically, he can do whatever he wants. Okay. So again, investor gave the recipient funds as an Iska for a certain length of time. So he said, give me your money, whatever, for 1 year or 6 months, whatever, and I'm going to trade, I'm going to bring you profit. Okay. And the funds remained with the recipient beyond the time when the payment was due. So we said for 6 months, and he gave it back to us only after 9 months, right? The recipient who engaged in business must give investor profit. So meaning for this extra months, even though we agreed only on 6, he has to give us profit because the money were with him, right? Also for the time that the money remained in his hands after the due date. Okay, meaning we agreed that he's going to give me money 6 months later, so it's not his business how I'm going to use the money. Maybe I'm going to put it in a safe, maybe I'm going to invest, maybe I do renovation, maybe I'm going to fix my roof. I mean, it's nobody's business. right? But sometimes people do calculation. But look, I thought that you don't need the money yet, right? So I decided to give it 3 months later. Okay, so for these 3 months you have to pay, right? So after the date, for the investor presumably remain in his hands on the original items or on the original terms, right? For investments presumably remained in his hand on original terms. So he was continue investing, even though he might say it was not. It's his own business, right? With exactly the same terms. So whatever the terms they agree for 6 months should continue reflect on these 3 months. Nevertheless, it is preferable to specify immediately from the onset in an Iska document that if the funds remained with the recipients beyond the time payment is due, it will also be condition on in Iska. And of course, you can write any penalty, whatever you want. So penalty is not considered to be interest, right? So I mean, he agreed to that penalty. So meaning interest. When I say interest, we said before, like he must pay no matter what. But this penalty, I mean, if you pay, like for example, you pay your credit card bill, right? If you pay on time, right, and or your full amount, or you broke it down by in payments, you like installments, and you pay like on time, even the minimum amount, still there's no penalty. Right, but if you're late, okay, then or you miss the payment, only then they're going to give you a penalty. Okay. So, and as he said, it must be reflected in a contract. Continue. Halacha number 6. Simple text of the Iska contract. There is a text of the actual contract. So, all right. So let's before we start, let's see the note, and it says, one who writes a Heter Iska, Heter is like permissible investment, right? Is strongly advised to confirm with authority who is experienced in this loss, right? So meaning what Kitzur Shulchan said, yeah, you can use it as a template, but today like there are many other like I don't know, details maybe connected to the law of the land, laws of the government. You have to also like abide by these laws. So okay, so yeah, talk to the expert. Chafetz Chaim in Achavas Chesed, volume 2, chapter 15, caution against being careless with regard to drawing up a proper Heter Iska, noting that if the Iska document was not drawn up properly, the lender will transgress the prohibition of ribis, which can affect either one soul will merit a resurrection, right? So it's one of the thing, right? So if person lends other people with interest or pay interest, I think pay an interest also. So this person is not going to get resurrected with the resurrection of the death. So that's, as we understand, it's a huge punishment. So that's Chafetz Chaim like warned us that we must be very, very careful with this thing. Okay. Continue. Excluding a document that contains provisions for ribis is tantamount to writing and signing that lender is denying the God of Israel. Executing a document that contains provisions for ribis. So if they sign a document and say that we're going to charge you interest, right? It's like signing a document that you deny God of Israel. That's how serious this contract. I mean, this is very, very serious business. So also Appendix D for the English text of the sample of Heter Iska that Rabbi Moshe approved for use. Okay. So let's see. I mean, we're not going to like go into details, but let's just read and try to like get highlights at least. I understand, thereby acknowledge, having received from Rabbi Urovitz of Ungar. So I mean I'm not sure who is he. The sum of one. I mean maybe it's like a legitimate contract. Rabbi Reuven Horovitz from Ungar. Ungar is probably city. The sum of 100 Austrian gold pieces as a Iska venture. So this Rabbi Horovitz invested in this person 100 gold pieces, right? Iska venture, okay. So it's like investment, right? For the duration one half of the year from the date entered below. So always in all of these documents, it must be a date. So if there is no date, just signatures, guess what? This document is not valid. Okay, so all right. So this person borrows from this rabbi 100 gold pieces, right? 100 gold pieces for 6 months. Okay. I have obligated myself to purchase with the aforementioned funds any suitable merchandise that, in my judgment, appears to be the most likely to generate profit. The Iska funds will be given priority for the investment over my personal funds. So it's very interesting. So he said that I'm borrowing these 100 gold coins, but I also have money of my own. So it's not only this money. So and he said, and I'm based on my knowledge, based on my experience, I'm going to invest this money as profitable as possible, right? So this investor is going to benefit, and I promised like to take a good care of his money. So not only my portion, but also his portion. Okay. So for example, like person needs like to buy minimum amount of something, like to be a wholesaler, like I don't know, like Alibaba Express. It's such a website, right? So they say minimum amount like 1,000 pieces, minimum amount 10,000 pieces. So unless you want to invest like, and they sell you very very cheap. They have the delivery price, like I mean, very like sounds very profitable, but you must buy like 10,000 pieces. And 10,000 pieces. So if that person, let's say, borrowed money to buy this 10,000 pieces, so he had money only for 5, and now he starts selling. He bought with the extra money from this Rabbi Reuven Horovitz, right? And now he starts selling. So he said, "Look, I'm the most profitable things that I sell is actually from my money." From my account and from this rabbi, okay, when we get time. You understand? So he can say, in some sense, like he can say that by the end of 6 months, Rabbi, I apologize. Yes, we worried, but I still need time to sell it. So basically, I give you, I don't know, like almost nothing. You understand? Because he was busy with taking care of his part of the business. So here he signs, no, I'm going to take to make my priority to use his funds, to trade with his funds to make it as profitable as possible. Okay. So any profit that HaShem will grant me from the merchandise that belong one half to me and one half to the aforementioned Rabbi Reuven. Right? So meaning what? That he's not paying him interest, but they divide the profits. Okay, the profit, okay. Continue. Similarly, should any loss incur, God forbid, it will be shared equally. So as we see, there is a like clear investment, right? Shared equally. Immediately upon the conclusion, on 1/2 year term from the date entered below, I shall be obligated to return the aforementioned Rabbi Reuven the principal as well as 1/2 of the profits. Okay, so he said, if we're going to, I'm trying to make my best in investing this money and bring return. So if there is a profit, we're going to split it in half. If there are those losses, we're going to split it also in half, right? And after 6 months, I'm promising that I'm going to pay him back this whatever he gave me, right, and plus half a profits. Okay. I mean, of course, even like on all the situation that we discussed before, it's the most straightforward contract, the most straightforward. But we try not to do any complications here, right? I shall have no trustworthiness with regard to any claim that I have incurred a loss unless it has been substantiated through the testimony of two qualified witnesses. And there is a key phrase that I don't know what chapter we learned on, but we said that. So meaning he put himself like in position, like almost impossible, like that there were two witnesses who testify and the loss occur, and this customer like he did not want to pay, and he said this and I said that. So like all the things to document is not so possible, and plus he would need two witnesses. So meaning what we said that most likely the person would be obligated to swear. Sometimes we allowed him to swear, not allowing him to swear. So basically we would make him to pay. Right? What does it mean, pay? Pay meaning it's like more like a borrowing. So when we force him to pay, so in some sense, he's going to be responsible no matter what happens, because as he said, you like I understand that you should not, and I'm telling you, you should not believe me. I don't believe myself. Basically, I don't trust myself. I don't expect you to trust me. So unless I produce two witnesses and like very good testimony, okay. So that's in a sense to calm down this investor, that I'm going to pay no matter what, because I would not be able to prove. That's, I mean, it's between the lines that's what it says here. But we actually explained it before. Commentary. Due to the concern that nowadays one may produce witnesses who will testify improperly, right? Rabbi Moshe Feinstein recommends that it is be stipulated the recipient must verify any claim of either loss or lack of profit under solemn oath while holding Sefer Torah. I mean, you know, what Moshe Feinstein says it's very scary, and I think it's my personal opinion. People were more decent back then, in his time, but he passed. He was not passed. He was nifter. Nifter, he was taken from us. I think in 1986. I think. Right, somewhere 87. Right, not too long ago. So he said, even in his days, like even you find these two witnesses, like people like, can be bright and they can lie. So he said. This guy, so even he has witnesses, but he would need to swear on his own for all of the losses that he claims and all of this lack of profit, with while holding Sefer Torah and using the Hashem's name. So we try to apply as much the pressure of this person as possible. So in many times, like the goal is for him to say, okay, it's not worth it for me. So I'm going to pay, and just that's it. Okay. As we always say, you're not obligated to swear. You can say I'm going to pay. That's it. With regard to profit, I shall not be trusted unless by the means of taking an oath. Right? That's how much we made. Right? However, it had been stipulated between us that if I wish to give him, in lieu of his proportion of profit, the sum of 10 gold pieces, that he shall then have no claim whatsoever against me. And this part we also discussed, right? So, like, it's a big hassle. Go to prove that how much you made. Like books are closed, the books are open. Like go, especially in olden days. Like you have your mother-in-law selling on the market. Like she does not know how to read and write. She give you money, but to say that you were selling apples, like mission impossible. So they can stipulate. So okay, look, they would come with some reasonable amount, and say minimum I'm going to pay you this. Okay, are you agree? Okay, say God say, look, no, I mean this is like a set price, right? So that he's going to get 10 golden pieces on his investment. Meaning what if the guy is going to make 40, so he does not have to give more, so he gives only 10, and the rest keeps. Okay. Right, and he said, look, if I give you 10, so you're going to leave me alone, right? So I mean, in some sense, it is a fixed interest, right? I mean, that's what it is in some, but sense, but like halachically, they explained how is it not an interest, and it is possible because it is investment. And again, they can rewrite different ways without this condition and with these two witnesses. So it just makes headaches and make the economy slow down. Understand? Because people, they need to borrow money and need to do the business with the money, merchandise. Okay. Any additional profits are mine alone, right? So this person say, look, I promise to give you 10, right, as a return. If it's going to be, if we're going to make 16 and I owe you 8, guess what? I'm going to pay you 10, and I'm going to even complain to you for whatever. So I mean, as agreed. But if we're going to make 40, guess what? I'm going to still pay you 10. And like many times we should not be greedy. So go by fixed income unless you're going to check and you trust this person 100%. So the fixed income is better. Okay. I mean, like in the banks or like investment. So they in investment business, they always ask like from number to 10. Like 1 is very conservative and 10 is very aggressive. It's what number? So and you have to be like confident to come with number that like that you if you say 9 or 8, for example, and they invested according to whatever you told them what is the number 8, and it took a loss. So you have to be careful, like you have to be ready to take a loss and not to have a heart attack, basically, right? On the other hand, if you sell 3 out of 10, so they gave you, I don't know, a few percent back as a return. So you cannot complain why it's only 3, right? So you have to know what to expect. Continue. Any additional profits are mine, okay, alone, as we said. Even if it is determined that it was large profit. So yeah, the market went up 17% or 70%, well, double, triple. So guess what? I still pay you 10. So it's up to them. Okay. Any credibility granted the holder of the document shall continue in this effect after the payment is due. Right, so meaning if he did not, so that's connected to a last halacha, right? Meaning if he did not pay back money, right? So it's he invested, he does not invest. It's his own business. Like if the guy signed this contract and took the money for 6 months and he did not do anything during these 6 months, he still owes this profit as he signed. His own business. And here, if he did not pay us on time, so he still owes us money. I think prorated, like something like they would calculate for this amount of time, like for overdue. As long as I not return the affirmation funds, they shall continue be in my hands as an iska, like investment, right? And in accordance with the terms above. So like the way I see it, if the guy finished with his Apple businesses, right? So that's it. So he would be like willing to return this money as soon as possible. The longer he holds the money, the more money he has to give back, like in this investment money, right? Investment return, which is not smart if he does not need this money. Okay. I have received compensation from my efforts. So let's see the commentary saying this refers to the sum that the investor must give to the recipient in exchange for his managing the investment, as explained CF1. So it's several weeks ago, maybe a month ago, right? We said that this recipient must be hired as what is it, as paid watchman, right? Shomer Sachar is a paid watchman, and paid watchman is responsible for something that is might happen with the money. Somebody stole the money. Somebody, I don't know, I don't know, some even unpredictable circumstances. He has to pay. Most of the cases, right? So it says Ungar. Maybe it's in what is it? What is the country? Hungary, I think. Actually, no, maybe it's Hungary or Austria. Maybe Austria, okay. Ungar, 28 Shvat, 56:31. Okay. Siman, Eisenstein. Okay, Siman. Witnesses before us, Levi, Blaudstein, and Yehuda Habengenger, Harberger. I'm sorry, Hachberger, sorry. Okay, I mean in Hebrew it's easy to read than in English. Okay, no problem. So commentary say, witnesses are not required for the Iska document to be valid. Witnesses are not required for the Iska document to be done. They included so that the terms of the documents may be enforced if the recipients were to deny receiving the money. So that's the thing. I mean, they're not required to be expert if the whole Iska document is kosher, not kosher. That's too much, right? But they testify that money change hands. Okay, we have Lashon Hara. Okay, so let's do maybe one more. As you see, like the whole our learning, whatever learned before, came to life in this document. Like everything that we discussed, it was Seif 6, and until the 6, all of these pieces, all of this logic was involved. Very interesting. Number 7. If they are pressed for time, and it is not possible for them to write an Iska document, they must stipulate all the previously mentioned particulars orally. Okay, so I mean, if there is no time to write a document, they can state it orally. State orally, the way I understand, what does it mean? That they've been doing business for a long time, they know each other, they trust each other, and it's like standard document. I mean, the guy borrowed from this investor like 10 times already. I don't know, for the past 5 years, 7 years, right? So they know exactly what to do, but right now they don't have time to write a document for this investment. And as in the laws, Shulchan says that you cannot recycle the old document, right? And just change the dates. It's not going to work out. So you have to, every time you have to write the new document, because people would forge dates and signatures. Okay, that's not what we need. Okay, so number 8. So let me see how. No, it's a long story. Okay, I apologize. 1 second. And it says number 8 in previous Siman, number 6. So in the Iska document. 16. In previous Siman, Seif 16, we have seen, it's when we're talking about ribis. It's not I thought it's 6, it's 16. It's previous when we're talking about ribis. We have seen that one may not advance payment for the merchandise due to issue of ribis. Okay. See Seif details how one who wishes to advance payment for merchandise may accomplish this in permissible manner. Okay. So let's see. One who advances funds for the merchandise, they should write a Heter Iska document in the following manner. So let's see the commentary before we start. The case. Reuven wished to purchase 5 measures of spirits from Shimon for delivery in the month of Nisan. Reuven wishes to purchase 5 measures of spirits, measures, I don't know, maybe barrels or I don't know, whatever measure it is, right, of spirits delivered in the month of Nisan, okay, for which he advances 10 gold coins in Tishrei. So, right, in Tishrei he pays him money because, as we said, if you remember what we said, most likely we're talking about wine now, right? Tishrei is when they do harvest when everybody have abundance of grapes, so the price of wine at that time is very cheap. And wine is not good. It's like a young wine, right? Fresh wine. It's not strong. It's nothing, right? According to some opinion, until sometimes it's not even considered to be wine. It's a grape juice. So, but by the Nisan, yeah, it's like 6 months later. For sure, it is a wine, right? You can drink, you can enjoy. So, meaning as explained there, if I remember correctly, the prices would go up, right? So the prices will go up. Right, so in some sense he would pay interest, collect interest. Okay, so one more time, the whole story. Reuven wishes to purchase 5 measures of spirits from Shimon for delivery in the month of Nisan, for which he advanced 100 gold coins in Tishrei. Instead of giving the money now to Shimon in the force of the payment for the future delivery of goods, the transaction is structured that as an investment. Reuven invests in the amount of 100 gold coins, invests in Shimon's distillery, and Shimon arranges that he can repay his principal as well as any profit in the form of 5 measures of spirits. So let's try to understand. Reuven wants to buy wine, spirits, okay, from Shimon. It's like now we're in Tishrei. We are 6 months before the wine is going to be ready. Okay, and he does not want to pay money, like just to give Shimon money, and it's going to be like laid there. Nothing is happening. So instead, he wants to invest in a Shimon's winery, right? Distillery. They call it distillery. It's mostly like hard liquor, the way I understand distillery. Wine is winery. Okay, but that doesn't matter. I mean, same concept, right? And it's going to be like investment. And at the end of the investment, Shimon said, I mean, he needs to hire worker, buy casks, this and that, buy other things like supplies, like a lot of expenses, right? So he wants this 100 gold coins, like to use them, right? And he said after, like in Nisan, I'm going to pay you not with the money back, but with the merchandise, right? Of course, like today, if you pay. If you pay 100 these golden coins in Nisan, you're going to get that much, but like because the wine is cheaper. But in Nisan, it's much more expensive. So in some sense, he's going to get interest, right? Okay, so that's and how to avoid it. So one more time, if one advances funds for the merchandise, they should write Heter Iska document in the following manner. Okay. I understand, hereby acknowledge, having received from Rabbi Reuven Weinstock of Ungar, very famous, last name, Weinstock, okay, from Ungar, the sum of the 100 Austrian gold pieces, okay, to engage in a business venture in distillery. So he said, I'm taking this money, like right, and I'm going to invest, like he's going to be partner in my business, to which I hold the right in the village of Zachan, okay, village is, until the upcoming Rosh Hashanah Nisan, until Rosh Chodesh Nisan. So basically, he said, I need this money until it's I need this money until Rosh Chodesh Nisan. That's why I'm going to give him back, and this money is an investment. So let's see the commentary. According to Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, Igras Moshe Dera, Volume 2, Paragraph 62 and 63, the investor in the Iska should not know the nature of details of the investment, since if the investor know as a certain that there is that there was a loss, for example, business was destroyed by fire, he will not be able to require the recipient to take an oath. Very interesting. So in order, that's very interesting. So in order for a person to get this set amount of profits, right? It should be like everything should be vague, and you have no idea what's going on, and that's and he does not know. I mean, you meaning as investor. So meaning that you have a right to make him swear. You have a right to press him to produce kosher witnesses. That's what he's claiming is true. But if you know exactly how he's going to invest the money, Rabbi Moshe Feinstein said, in his distillery, so if you heard the news like it burned down completely, so of course you're not going to take him to the court and make him swear. I mean, it's everybody knows, like you know that it is a case. You understand? So in this case, he would not be able to retrieve his money. So meaning what? That he would go with the loss. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Rather, they should stipulate the money to be invested in any venture in which the expected return is at least double the agreed upon amount that may be given in lieu of the profit, in order to exempt him from taking an oath. So again, that's what we learned, I think, last time. So Moshe Feinstein, Zatzal says, no, we should be awake in this contract and say he should invest in whatever venture he wants, like he thinks profitable. But since we're going to get only like a set amount, right? This venture should bring us profit at least double of the set amount. So if set amount was 10 coins, let's say, so this venture must bring at least 20 coins, like his rational judgment, like based on the market, okay? Common sense. So if it's like practically possible, like technically possible to get to 20%, okay, that's where we invest. If they're going to make 50%, no problem. He's still going to give these 10 coins, and the rest he's going to keep this recipient. Okay, which rights to villages the one. Okay, so until Rosh Chodesh Nisan. So and also they stipulate when he's going to return. The portion of the profit that results from this investment, after deducting all the expenses, of course, shall belong 1/2 to me and one half to aforementioned Rabbi Reuven. Similarly, any loss incurred, God forbid, shall be shared equally. So far is like separate investment, right? But immediately, like and after that, as exactly the same in the document before, we're going to say, but if you want like get rid of all the headaches, escape all the headaches, so just agreed on a set amount, and that's it. Immediately upon the upcoming Rosh Chodesh Nisan, I shall be obligated to return to the affirmation Rabbi Reuven, the principal as well as a portion of the profits. Okay, I shall not be trusted. So here we go. I shall not be trusted to claim that I incur loss unless it has been substantiated through the testimony of two qualified witnesses. So this person, like, say, look, you don't have to trust me. Look, I'm not going to steal from you. You don't have to trust me. So I'm going to put myself in that situation that I'm going to be obligated to pay no matter what. Right? Very interesting. With regard to the profit, I shall not be trusted unless by means of taking an oath. However, it has been stipulated between us, right, that if I wish, upon the upcoming Rosh Chodesh Nisan, to give affirmation Rabbi Reuven in lieu of the principal as well as his portion of profit, the amount of 5 measure of spirits. So he said, look, I'm going to give you like as a principal, as an interest, like as a profit, not interest, as a profit combined in 5 measure spirits. Okay, so what is going to be doesn't matter. That's we're not converting into money, right? That's it's going to be compensation. Basically, take it or leave it, right? That he shall have no further claim whatsoever against me. Again, the market might go 500%. I don't know, right? So, but this Rabbi Reuven is going to get only these 5 measures of spirit. Okay, so that's what they agreed on. Okay, any credibility granted to the holder of the document shall continue to the effect after the payment date. So, meaning, right, if he misses, he say, if I miss this Rosh Chodesh Nisan, same condition apply. Meaning, you can always like do pro rata, right? Based on the amount of days. I have received compensation for my efforts. So again, very, very important point that he's hired to watch over our investments. Ungar, 11 Tishrei 5631, Shimon Blumenthal. Witnessed before us Levi Blotstein and Yehuda Halevi Taub. Taub is a very, very important dynasty. Taub. This book, Laws of Tzedakah Mussar, is by Rabbi Taub. I'm not sure if they're related or not, but that's what it is. Okay. So we can stop here. It's very interesting. In these 2 documents, all of these things came to light. Okay. So, and basically we see it's not some kind of trick that people say, yeah, you just like you say it's not interest but you charge. Okay, so that technically it's not. Technically, if he wants to bring 2 witnesses, let him bring 2 witnesses. Let him bring the proof for the loss, for the profit. And sometimes like all of the things are like too much, and some like you just say, okay, forget it. But yeah, just give me the minimum. I agree to the minimum. Don't give me the story. Okay. So, but here they instead of saying that, they wrote it down, and it's just brilliant. Okay.